Welcome. In this video, we're going to determine the absolute extrema for f of x equals x to the fourth minus 2x squared. And here we're going to determine where the absolute extreme lie on all real numbers, so on its domain. And we're going to use calculus and a little bit of what we know from precalculus. We're not going to use the second derivative test on problems like this yet, but we will get to the second derivative test later on. So let's start by finding the first derivative. Now that I have my first derivative, I want to know where f prime is equal to 0 to find the critical values. Our x equals 0, x equals -1, and x equals +1. Now let's test some points. So I've started out with a basic number line, and I've labeled my critical values on the number line. This number line has split up the real numbers into 4 regions. Here's the first region, the second, the third, and the fourth. And we're going to test some points in each region. So in region 1, we'll look at x equals -2. In region 4, we'll look at x equals 2. And then in the regions 2 and 3 that are on either side of 0, we'll test x equals -1/2 and x equals +1/2. And when I say test, what do I mean? We're going to evaluate each of these in my derivative, in our derivative of f, and determine if the derivative is positive or negative. So take a moment and evaluate these. Let me do the first one. So f prime of -2 is actually less than 0. That tells me that the function is going downhill here. So pause the video and try the rest of these. Evaluate -1/2, 1/2, and 2 inside our first derivative to determine if the function is going downhill or uphill in any of these regions. All right, you should have noticed that the first derivative evaluated at -1/2 is positive. The first derivative evaluated at +1/2 is negative. And the first derivative evaluated at 2 is positive. So that means my slope is going uphill here, we're going downhill, and we're going uphill again. So if we're going negative to positive, that means our graph looks something like this here. All right, so what does that tell me? I know I have a minimum when x equals -1, and the y value we can find by evaluating our original function f at -1, which yields -1. So we have a minimum at -1, 1. And I don't know, is this an absolute or a local? Well, I'll get back to that. So for now, let's put a pin in this. And when we get back to that, it'll be in blue. So let's leave this here in blue. And let's just quickly determine if these are mins or maxes. And I'm going to make this a little clearer. So let me move things around just a bit. There we go. Okay, so we know we have a minimum and we haven't decided if it's absolute or local at -1, 1. So at 0, our graph starts, our function that is, goes uphill and then downhill because the derivative is first positive, then negative. So that tells me I have a max when x equals 0, and the y value we can find by evaluating our original f at 0 to get 0. So I know there's a max there at 0, 0. Finally, let's look at this last point. So when x equals 1, and my 1 is hidden, so let's rewrite the 1 here. There's 1. So when x equals 1, the graph starts off by going downhill, then uphill. That tells me I definitely have a minimum here. When x equals 1, f evaluated at 1 is -1 again. So far, we know we have minimum at -1, 1, and at 1, -1, and a max at 0, 0. Now, which of these are absolute and which of these are local? For that, let's recall a little bit of precalculus. F of x is a fourth degree polynomial, and the leading coefficient is positive. So since f of x is a fourth degree polynomial with a positive leading coefficient, we know that it has to look something like this. So at the end, towards negative and positive infinity. It grows without bound. And then there's going to be some stuff in here. And I'm leaving this kind of with this dotted line since I don't want to commit to exactly what that is. But I know as x approaches negative infinity, f of x approaches infinity. And as x approaches positive infinity, f of x approaches infinity. So what does that tell us about my 3 points? So let's call this point 1, point 2, and point 3. Point 1 is going to be the furthest left point, or the furthest left minimum, since it's at negative 1. So that's going to be, say, here. Point 3 is the furthest right, since it has the largest x value, so that'll be here. So this is 1, this is 3. And right here in the middle, I have the max. That would be here. So just by looking at this, clearly 1 and 3 have to be absolute minimums. Clearly, 0, 0 cannot be an absolute maximum since f of x is going to grow without bound as x approaches both negative infinity and positive infinity. So 2 is just a local minimum.